Shane back with Here from Guitar at Work. Welcome back, Shane Simpson here. Excited about this one. This is George Harrison's Here Comes the Sun, Beatles, Here Comes the Sun. And we've got Capo 7 here, in case I forget to mention it. Capo 7, that's going to be important for sure. I want to thank you all for coming back and all your thumbs up and stuff. And a lot of requests for this one over the years. I've kind of steered clear of this one, to tell you the truth. There's so many great videos on how to play it, but I do want to give you my take on it. And there's so many great videos. And it's not that it's the hardest song to play, it's just that it's a difficult song to communicate, because there's a technique involved, much like Norwegian Wood, if you've done that one, where you're having to strum and then have certain target notes that you have to sort of isolate and highlight. And it is a wonderful right hand exercise, if this is new to you, for sure. It's a great little sort of a detail thing. I want to send you first, and I also want to send a great thank you to all of my friends at Patreon. And I got to tell you what, it's just meant the world to me to keep the lights on. You guys have really, really helped out here. I really appreciate it. I've got 4 sheets here for you. If you head to patreon.com/guitaratwork, grab these sheets. I'm going to be referring to these the whole time. 4 sheets, 2 pages of the actual song sheet that have the chords over top, which is going to be hugely helpful when you know the parts. And then the second set of 2 are handwritten that tell you how to play each of the parts. We're talking probably about 5 parts here to learn, maybe 4, because the intro is kind of the same as the verse. So I'll take you through each of those parts, and you'll be able to stitch it all together with the sheet that has the chords over top. So definitely go get those, patreon.com/guitaratwork, and we'll leap right in. If you're looking at what I'm calling Here Comes the Sun Details Page 1, the Details Page 1, we're having to extract a melody. Capo 7 here. I'm going to grab my D chord, just like that, and you're going to find out that the song eventually is just this. You're just chopping wood. The right hand just basically almost never stops until it, there, 1. And if I sang the melody, da dum da 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 da, that's why we're going to be so specific about downs and ups that you're going to see underneath the tablature there. The first thing you're seeing on a D chord, you're seeing a 2. I'm going to just highlight the melody here first. I think this, to me, this is the way to go about this song. I've seen transcriptions that are almost impenetrable. They may be perfect, but they're almost impenetrable, because sometimes George, he hits 2 strings, sometimes he hits 3. So it's very difficult to replicate exactly how he does it, and I'm sure that he would play it slightly differently every time as well. On the D chord, you're seeing a 2 written on the high E. So I'm going to isolate that note here, 2. Now that 2 is the 2nd fret. The 2 means the 2nd fret on that high E. Just going to isolate him. Now you have him in your chord. You don't have to do anything special on your left hand. D chord's there. Here's your 2. Okay, the next one's a 3. Whoop. Here's your 2, and here's the 3 on the B string. There we go. And he again is in your chord. So here's your 2, and then your 3 is on the B string. So you haven't had to move anything yet. But now you see a 0 coming. You're going to have to lift your middle finger to open up that high E string. There's your 0, open. 0 means open. No finger on. So I've lifted up that middle, and then back to 2, the 4th note in that sequence. There we go, back on. So really just back to a D. So those first 4 notes, ever important to get us off the ground here. 2, 3, 0, 2. There we go. And again, I'll do that again. 2, 3, 0, 2. Now it's going to return to the 3 on the B string. There we go. That's kind of sort of the end of a little phrase there. So if you get that going, and I'm going to pay attention to the downs and ups. Down, up, down, up, up. There we go. Let's do that again. So down, up, down, up, up. Now, if there's 2 ups in a row, like the 4th and 5th notes there, if there's 2 ups in a row, doesn't that kind of imply a little bit of a rest there, or a pause? Because there's a missing downstroke, right? So da 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 da. So again. There we go. So far, so good. Now back to the 2, then another 0, and then the 3 on the B string. And that definitely is the end of the first bar there on your D chord. So I'm going to go 1. And I'm thinking of that. Down, up, down, up, up, down, up, up. There we go. I shouldn't be resting there, by the way. We won't be resting when we get into the actual strum. So you really want to be able to do that. I'm always saying to stop tape Don't expect to get all the way. It might be a good idea to watch the video all the way through just to get a sense of the pacing and what you're facing, kind of thing. I'm trying to break it down as reasonably as I can. What you want to do is get that nailed first. And now a peek ahead, if I was to add strumming to that. You see how that fattens it up? I'll call that scrubbing it. So I'm scrubbing it now. Yeah, but wait for that. You got to know that melody first. If you're trying to work the strum in and you don't quite know the melody, that's difficult to do for sure. I'm going to jump to the second bar. So stop tape. If you're not ready for that, jump to the second bar with me when you are ready. We're now on a G chord here. Now, lots of ways you could do this, but I like to just use one finger on the G. I'm going to put that guy there. And some people would put their first finger on that second fret. I put the middle there, and then I just kind of lean over to mute that A string, so he's not getting in the way there. You shouldn't be too hard to get that. I'm going to put him there, even though I don't really need him at the moment because I'm just playing the melody. I'm going to play the open B string, bar 2 here. Open B, and then the 3rd fret of the B, high E open, and then back to that 3rd fret of the B, who hasn't moved, by the way, he just stayed there. Here's bar 2 again, on a G chord, 0, 3, high E, and back to that 3 on the B string. That's it. Notice they're all upstrokes, right? And that's where they occur in the beat. It's going up, 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 up. We'll get to how to strum that when we start fattening up. So you've got 2 bars so far. Bars 1 and 2, I'll recap here. Let's get you a close-up of that. It starts on beat 2, if I haven't mentioned that. 1. Sorry, I shouldn't be playing the strum. 1. G. Let's do that again. D. There you go. I can't help myself but play that bass note, but you'll be fine if you get that going. Now, bar 3. Again, stop tape right there. You need to be able to play that before we get to the scrubbing. Here's an A7, standard fingering for that, 2nd and 3rd finger, A7. And this guy here is going to start on the C. You already have that 2nd fret of the B, just going to play him with a downstroke, an upstroke in the 0, removing that ring finger gives you 0, back to 2 on the B, a B string 3rd fret, pinky, I'm going to use my pinky there, and then high E open. And again, adhering to those down and ups that you're seeing there. A7 again, bar 3, 0, and then 2 again, 3, and then high E. And that's going to be, and when we get to the strum. There we go. So you've got 3 bars there, and fish away at that for sure. Very important you can play that. And then bar 4 is pretty much the same as bar 1. So hey, we're in that situation. We play open D, 2, 3, high E open, 2 on the high E, 3 on the B, 2 on the high E, 0 on the high E, and then 3 on the B string. And you're probably reading that at this point, and hopefully that's the case. And bar 4 again. 2, 0, 3, minimal movement there on the D. And here's G, bar 5 again. I'm going to go to that 1 finger G, and I need an open B, high E of the 2nd fret, high E open, B string 3rd fret, and then A7 on the up. Just going to give that a little strum there too. We're really fishing that note. So you see our target notes are these, right? We're trying to isolate those. And then when we get into the strumming, you're trying to be super gentle and feather in those notes whilst accompanying yourself with a down up. But don't be surprised if you never play it the same way twice. Sometimes you hit an extra string here and there. That's okay. You won't get kicked out of the band for that. Nobody's going to throw fruit at you or anything. It's all good. Let me go round and round. This is the intro, which is the same as the verse. So we've got a couple of parts nailed there already. Let me go round and round. Play along if you can. I'm just playing the melody here, not strumming yet. 2, 3, 4, 1. A7, D, should have been an upstroke, sorry, on the A7. It's actually hard to do it in step time like this with the proper downs and ups. So hey, if you've got that, let's move on. But if you don't have that, again, that's page 1 of the details page. Head to patreon.com, grab those sheets. It'll save you an awful lot of effort. And peck away at that until you're feeling like you've got it memorized. That would be a great thing to get your eyes off the paper. And then let's get into how to strum that. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. There's my first bar. Now, the first strum is pretty easy because the high E string carries the melody note. You can't help but hear it. But the second one on the upstroke, you really want to watch out for your pick there and start the up strum from the B string, right? Which is not the easiest thing to do. It's going to take a little bit of practice to aim that guy. So there he is. Yeah, so we're not coming back with a full strum because we want to highlight that 3 on the B string, right? That's a big thing. And then we just have this nice light feathering going on. Here's bar 1 again. 1. A little pause in there somewhere, right? Where is that 1? Right there. Here, I went too high on the high E there, but hey, nobody's angry. So 3, 4, 1. I'm keeping this guy, and I'm going to try singing it to get the phrasing. 1. Da doo da da da. Da, 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 so that melody follows the vocal, right? So if you really got to listen to the song to get a sense of the phrasing. On the G chord, on bar 2, to get the strumming, there's a real concentration on the downstrokes on the lower set, so you don't wash everything out. You might end up with this at first, until you sort of learn to feather that in, and I think that's reasonable in terms of steps to get where we're going, right? And then all of a sudden, you can be careful with the right hand and feather in those notes. 2 bars, back to back, 1 and 2. G. There's A7, that might be the easiest of the bunch. That was bar 3 there, A7. Again, bar 3. Go again in between 2 upstrokes there must be a downstroke, right? So there's a bit of a pause there. Up, up. I'll put the down in between. There we go. Bar 4 coming. 3, 4. Open bass. Here comes a G on the upstroke. A7. And there we go. Go at it. That's it. That's the sort of the nature of the technique. And I much prefer to talk about it that way than to give you a pile of tab that carries each of those strums in there, because it's a whole lot of ink to get through, and it'll stymie you. But if you know that it's that technique, okay, strum it. Okay, that makes sense. I hope that makes sense to you anyway. So I'm going to run now to the chorus bit. So we've got verse and intro and verse are the same. So we've tackled a couple of parts there. If I run to the chorus, which is similar in the beginning, he's going to start out with, and I'll run to just the melody notes again. So bass note on the D, and here's this is page 2 of your detail sheet, by the way. So open D, and then 2 on the high E, which is in your chord. There we go, bass. Here comes the sun, right? So bass, D, 2, 0, 2, 3. And then the second bar of the chorus is do and do do. So do, do, and do, do. That's 2, 3, 0, 2. All you have to do is lift that middle off, that high E. And then open G as he's on his, open B as he's on his way to that G chord there. So bars 1 and 2 of the chorus. And second bar, open B. I'm going to play the G bass note and then a 2 on the high E. That was 2, 0, 2 on the G, again from the G. Bar 3 of the chorus. E7 is an E chord. There's lots of ways to play. I'm going to play an E chord and put my pinky on the 3rd fret of that B string. So again, E chord, pinky on the 3rd fret of the B, and we arrive on him on an up. The sun, and then you're going to see some strums in there written. We just have to kill the rest of that bar. Up, down, up, down, up, down, down. I'll take it from the chorus. From beginning of the chorus up to the E7. Here it comes. Here comes the sun. And then do, 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 open B. Here comes E7. We're just strumming that. And then the last bar of that chorus here, it's all right, open, and then it's all right. And that's 2, 0, 3. And we're gonna have a big tag coming up here in a second. That's your chorus, and I'll just play it once or twice through without the strum, so you can hear that melody that we're trying to capture. Open. So here's your chorus, 3, 4, just melody. It's all right. Here we now add the strums in there ever so delicately. But hey, like the last section, you probably want to stop tape and nail that down, just the melody notes before you start scrubbing. So here's your scrubs, 3, 4. Here comes the sun. E7, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. It's all right. Let me do that again. Top of the chorus, 3, 4. It's all right. There we go. There's your intro, verse, and chorus, and just a couple more parts to go. So I'll say it again and again. Stop tape there. Go back and get it. Grab your sheets. Patreon.com/guitar@work. It will help you out for sure. And leave me any questions you might have in the comments. I'm going to run now to what I'll call the tag, which is this really cool part. There. Sounds fancy, sounds impressive. It's not too bad. You're on page 2 of your detail sheet, handwritten there for you. You're going to see a slide from 2 to 4 on the G string. I'm going to use my 3rd finger. This is important. Get a close-up of that guy. 3rd finger, 2nd fret of the G. And we're going to slide him, pick him, and slide him to 4 again. There we go. Don't get too hung up on that. There we go. And as soon as I've arrived there, I'm going to put my middle finger on the 3rd fret of the B and pick him. Again, so you've got 2 to 4 slid. Here's your 3 on the B, and then the high E open. Yeah, and hey, when you're feeling ready, check out the downs and ups, and they're pretty standard to change direction on that high E string. So down, down, up, because it gets you back in position for the next bit. So here you got this so far. Good, hang on there. Get rid of your ring finger, and your 1st finger will go to 2 on the G. That's the next set of 3 there. So here's your 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, and here's your 3rd fret of the B, which is already there, and then high E. Okay, so here's top of that section again, sliding 2 to 4. Middle on the B, high E open. I'm gonna get rid of the ring finger, put my 1st finger, 2nd fret, G string, same right hand pattern. Now remove the 1st finger, you get a 0, open G. The 3 stays, and back on with the 1st. There we go. Let's do that tag one more time. So you're going to slide 2 to 4, 3, high E open, get rid of the ring, 1st finger goes down. There you go. 0 on the G. 2 on the G. Good, now here's this fancy pull-off bit here. I'm already on the 3 with the B. I'm going to pull off 3 to 2 on the B. So that's 3 to 2 on the B, and then 4 to 2 on the G. So those last 4 notes in that line. There we go. You may, if you haven't done any pull-offs before, you kind of have to snap them down toward the floor. And just make sure the receiving finger, I'll call it the 1st finger in this case, he's already there. You don't want to do this slamming this guy down. That's not what it's about. It's about having that 1st finger in behind him, snapping that pull-off down toward the floor to kind of give you a fake pick stroke. And pretty soon he'll be as loud almost as a regular pick note. So 3 to 2, and then 4 to 2. There we go. Let's do that whole tag together. I hope you don't think that's too tricky. It's not. It's going to be slowly this way here. 3, 4. one more for good luck. Slide 2 to 4. Good. Now, I didn't mention that that's so specific in the picking that I tend to rest, and I would recommend that you rest here. I call it the heel of your hand, that little bone right there rested on the pins that are holding your strings in. That way, you give yourself a fighting chance to nail those strings. If you're not supported, not rested, it's anybody's guess as to what string you're going to hit. So watch out for that. That's the tag. Pardon me. Only a couple other sections to go here, and actually one big one and one rather small section. Again, stop tape there and dig into that and come back and finish it off with me. The instrumental section is this business here, what I'm calling instrumental section. I played a bad note, let me do it again. That's better. Good, that's written, again, page 2 on your detail sheet. That's toward the bottom there, the second last line. The 0, open, A, and 4th fret of the A, and then 2nd fret of the D. Right, a little arpeggio there, 0, 4, 2. Now I'm just going to grab an F shape, or an F major 7 shape. I'm just going to F triad, just like that. You don't have, if it's an F chord, you don't have to bar it with the first finger. You won't be using that string. So just, and I'm going to pick those in the order you see them. 3, 2, 1. That's referring to frets, of course, right? 3, they're not finger numbers. 3, 2, 1. There's your F. Now over to a C. Only 2 fingers have to move. Just a general C shape there. There's your right hand, 3, 2, 0. Now G/B is your middle finger. Just all alone there. That's the guy. Now a G, I'm not going to play a full G. I'm just going to put my ring finger right there in his rightful spot on a G chord. Pick those lowest 3 notes. And then that fancy business at the end is just strum a D. And then to an A7. Yeah, so that instrumental section around here is 0, 4, 2. That's the pickup into this F, C, G/B, G, and then strum a D to an A7. We're going to fill that up as well. And here's your, one more time for that instrumental bit. 0, 4, 2, here's an F, C, G/B, G, to a D. That's it. So hey, in real time, that goes around 6 times. You'd want to refer to the sheet that has the lyrics on it for detail as to how many times to play everything. So the detail sheets have really, it just gives you how to play the parts, and then we stitch it together using that other sheet. So here's that instrumental more at real speed. So. You'll notice when I end it, I end it on the D, you kill 4 beats. The A7, it repeats at an unusual place. Let me do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, A7, 1, 2. Start on beat 3, or almost beat 3 for the pickup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, go. It's an unusual little turnaround the way it repeats. Keeps it interesting, right? For sure. That's your instrumental bit. And again, you'd rest for that and follow the downs and ups in there. There's no strumming in that except when we hit the D. You want to isolate those notes. The very last section, that goes around 6 times, so that instrumental bit. And then at the end, they have this build-up. You'll see the last line here on page 2 of your detail sheet is the A7 build-up. I'm on an A7. I'm just going to play the melody notes first. So 2, 0, 2, 3, 2, 3, 0, 3, 0, 3, and then a bunch of scrubbies. Now if I add, I trust you can read that, you've got this far, so I'm now going to add the strumming, so 2, there we go, and then my right hand's just doing this, so here comes A7. Da da da. da da da, da da da. It's so important for you to listen to the recording to get the phrasing of that, right? So 1, da da da, da da da, no, 1, again, da da da, da da da, da da da, and then we're back to little darling, you're back to a verse in there. Hey, so those are all your parts, and I just have to stitch them together, right? Stitch them together, and be cognizant that your right hand. I'm going to go right back to the verse section. Little D. Yeah. So we know our melody. We know this business. Now we're just okay. 3, 4, 1. Never stops. Do 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 do. Okay. There you go. Hey, and you're going to overshoot with this guy. And at first, it might be sort of bombastic. You're going to get. You may not hear the notes change as well as you want them to, but give it time. Start out quietly, quiet. If you're strumming really loud, there's no way that those melody notes are going to surface, right? So you really try to feather those in. So hey, that is my take on Here Comes the Sun. Again, go grab those sheets from patreon.com. Again, you got 2 with the actual song sheet on it, which if you're this far will make perfect sense to you because you've got all the melody notes. You try to memorize those. And what we worked off today was a detail sheet. So you'll easily stitch those together. I welcome questions, comments, suggestions, and I thank you for your thumbs up. They have always meant a huge, big deal, and so many people drop in questions and requests. I really appreciate that. And ask me questions in the comments. Happy to answer them. And if you have requests, send them my way. And I hope you have fun with this one. It's a great song. It's a crowd pleaser, so dig in. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye now. Bye.